All right, we're gonna be live in just a few seconds for our chat GPT for content creators. Get ready, everybody. I'm super excited. All right, are we here? Are we here? Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. Hello, everybody. I feel like it's been a long time, has it? I don't know. Potentially. I don't know. So much has happened in my life since my last webinar. Maybe that's why. ChatGPT for content creators, revolutionizing writing and media production is what we're doing today. I hope. I'm in the right place. I think so. All right, cool. Well, yeah, a lot has happened. As I was saying, I've had a child since our last webinar. So I have a son now who's 4 days old today, I think. No, 5 days old today. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm sleeping okay, so thank you very much for everybody who's wondering if I'm having sleeping issues. He's I'm not gonna say he's a bit calmer, but yeah. So I'm very excited because we I love these webinars, and especially today is one of those hands-on webinar where we're just going to do some quite ChatGPT magic. And obviously there's a lot of new things in ChatGPT, so maybe I'll also cover that a little bit, right? Because I'm sure that you've seen a lot of posts, but I'll just give you my unfiltered feedback, what I think about it. Do I love it? Do I hate it? And why? And so on. All that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah, awesome, great, cool. So, well, first of all, I mean, I think you also it, of course, everywhere about ChatGPT's, updates, about OpenAI's updates, GPT-4o, GPT-4o. I don't, that's a weird name, but they've done it. GPT-4o is interesting. Why is interesting? Is 50% cheaper and 2x more efficient. Of course, when we say cheaper for ChatGPT, it doesn't matter because we pay a monthly subscription. But in token wise, that's quite important because usually a lot of developers and people who build for ChatGPT, right, they'll be charged 50% less and the efficiency will be 2x. But when we're talking about ChatGPT itself, today we can see that the 2x efficiency is there. If today you come and ask something to ChatGPT, the answers are much faster, they're much more accurate, less hallucinations. And what I really love is it's getting better for content creators. And that's what we're talking about today. So that's amazing, isn't it? In my opinion, it's just that, I was using Anthropic Claude 3, the Opus model especially, was very, very successful. It was really, really good at making it sound more conversational, making it sound better, and stuff like that. And ChatGPT has got that as well now. So that's awesome. So I don't have to now get the idea from ChatGPT, do the draft with ChatGPT because that's kind of what I was doing, and then I would. Oh, I have some feedback here. Sorry. That's weird. I just got some double feedback there. Sorry about that. I was just double checking on LinkedIn to make sure. I was drafting everything from there, and then I was taking it to Claude Opus, and I always said to Claude 3 Opus, I was like, make this sound better and blah blah blah, make it more conversational, make it more friendly. Don't sound like an AI and stuff like that. But GPT-4o has smashed that. That's really good news. That's really good news because you don't need other models. You can just use ChatGPT and use GPT-4o for that use case. And if you've tried it, you'll see the difference is huge. It's really, really, really good at content now. And of course, we talked about memory. We talked about memory previously in my webinars, on my LinkedIn and stuff. So GPT-4o with a bit of memory, remembering stuff about you, also, of course, your brand guidelines, your documents about your brand voice and stuff like that, and building a custom GPT for yourself. The quality of the content that you're going to put out there is awesome. It's really, 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 really good. And I'm excited because this update of GPT-4o was for free users mainly, right? So of course, as plus users we get as well. But if you're a free user, now you have GPT-4o. I know it has a lot of limits, but you have GPT-4o. Okay, and GPT-4o, even with its limits, is good. But go pay the $20 if you're on a individual plan, and $30 if you're in a big team plan, paying monthly or pay yearly at $25 per seat. Go do it because it's getting better and better and better. I know a lot of people. They were like, "Oh, I'm canceling my ChatGPT Plus account because they came with GPT-4o." And then they saw the limits, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, I'm not canceling anymore, or I'm just going back to it." And that was really big updates for free users. But us as plus users, the ones that pay for it from day one, and there are, you know, I mean, I love ChatGPT, right? So us, we're getting some magic coming very soon. I guarantee you that. We're gonna have some really awesome features coming soon. We're potentially gonna have GPT 4.5 or GPT 5. I believe it's gonna be a bit agent-like as well. There's gonna be some really cool stuff that where it can prompt itself and get the result and say something else to get the task done at hand, and that's going to be just incredible. In the meantime, I'll show you a couple of other things that happen. You have Google Drive integration now. You can put your Google Docs, your Google Sheets, which is amazing. Interactive tables are coming for better data analysis. Better data analysis. Interactive tables are coming. It's great. It's incredible because you don't need a data analyst almost, right? It's almost there. So that really it it tickles my my happiness. It tickles it all, because I know some great stuff are coming more and more and more and more. um so that's kind of very quick updates from just a talking point. But I think one of the best things that we could do is to share screen, and then look at ChatGPT together, right? Shall we do that? Awesome, let's do that. Let me share my screen. Here we go. We're coming on ChatGPT now. Here we go. ChatGPT, share. I don't need to share the tab audio of my ChatGPT. Cool. Amazing. Can everybody see my screen? No. Can they see my screen now? Yes. Can they see it small? Yes. Can they see it bigger now? Yes. Good. Things are happening. I wanted to put myself a little bit on the right side. Can I do that? No, you can't. Just this sucks. I have to be on the bottom right. That's fine. Anyways, I'm here. So I've cleaned up my chat GPT just for you guys in the meantime. Let me see if I can make this a tiny bit bigger because I know that you guys love to see it bigger. Um, is this better? I'm not sure if that view is better. I don't care. But yeah, okay. If you say that view is better, I'm happy for it. Cool. So the idea is that now, one of the silliest updates, in my opinion, is this little icons in the middle that you get, which is now you get these activity, like we used to have these kind of starter prompts, if you didn't know anything about ChatGPT and didn't know what to do with it kind of thing. Now you do have these little prompts, which we had them, but they didn't have icons, which is the city's update ever, right? It's a yellow little thing, a blue blah blah blah, and stuff like that. But what's amazing, it's this new model, right? GPT-4o. It's the newest and most advanced model. So I believe GPT 3.5 will stay, but maybe it'll disappear at some point because GPT-4o is going to be the base model, right? Since it's available already for free users, so that's going to happen very very soon. Okay, and what's really interesting, in my opinion, is that now we have the memory with GPT-4o. Things are getting really 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 powerful. Okay, so, and I can show you, I mean, the power of it is like, it's just like, we're gonna do some silly stuff. Please, as a content creator, don't do this, but write a LinkedIn post about AI development. I don't ever do this, right? But the speed of it, and actually the wording is much better as well, than previously. Okay, and it's really really fast. This is really good speed for content. Okay, and while this is happening, by the way, I think there's been a bit of a change. Your sidebar closing is now on the top left. It used to be a little bit on the center. It used to have a little thing here, so now it's on the top left. You can close your sidebar. They've also added a new chat thing, which they had it, but it wasn't, I think, this obvious, or it was just here, which is quite nice. You can click on it. Your settings were on the bottom left. Remember, some people didn't even realize this. I didn't even realize it until a while ago. I was like, what's going on? Now they're on the top right. So, so I have my team account, my personal account, you have all your settings type of stuff there. Little UX changes. They're small changes, but they kind of help, right? I think that it's making it smoother and smoother every day. So I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so what I want to do is check my agenda, okay, to make sure that I am not just talking about all this stuff, but I'm doing the agenda that my executive assistant set for me, okay, so that we can make sure that we're giving you the most value we can today on this call, on this webinar. So in the agenda, very quickly, I'll tell you, it's one, we're going to generate content ideas with ChatGPT. Okay, and I'm going to do it live. We're going to write some art, and like on the second point, we're going to write articles and scripts with ChatGPT. Then we're going to use ChatGPT to overcome creative blocks. That's going to be our third, and hopefully we'll have some Q&A. Maybe it's not our biggest live session today. The weather is getting nicer. A lot of people are outside, I know, in their cities and countries. In the winter, we used to have, at one webinar, we had 1,400 people. That was amazing. But it's fine. I'm here. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. You get much more value if you ask these questions. Trust me. Okay. And I'm always looking at questions. If I miss anything, I'm sure my EA, she'll ping me, or she'll say, hey, there's a question, so I'll tackle that as well. So let's start that agenda. It's a full agenda. It's a raw agenda that we're going to do some cool stuff. Okay. So for this use case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my ChatGPT actually to my space. 1 second. Why am I going to do this, you may ask? Is because here I have what I call my 1 second, you can't see it. I'm getting my AI PRM ready. I switched it off for you guys so that you guys can see a little bit, how clean it could look. Because when people see my ChatGPT, they get a little bit worried and they're like, oh my God, this looks awful, because I have something called AI PRM, right? So let me share that again. Here we go. We're back on track and we are here, right? No, we're not here. This screen sharing always will do that. So bear with me. Bear with me. Here we go. How's this? Yes, that's good. I can switch to here and I can switch to this ChatGPT. All right, so now you should be able to see, all right, my AI PRM as well. So as you saw earlier, ChatGPT was so much cleaner. Now it's a little bit messier. A lot of people don't like this, especially if you have small screens. Like if you're working just on a 13-inch laptop or smaller stuff, you're not going to want to have AI PRM, or you're going to find it too busy. You're going to find it hectic. A lot of people say that, but I got used to it because all my prompts are there. Really, the value is here. And what's AI PRM? I always repeat it. For the people who don't use it, it's a little Chrome extension that each time I give this to anyone that I know, they find it super, super valuable. And then why did my screen share just close itself? That's funny. That just closed itself, by the way. Let's see why that happened. Wow. Okay. That just closed itself. Hopefully that's not going to be a recurring thing. It might be. Restream is not happy with me today. Cool. So here you see my prompts on AIPR, and these are all my custom prompts that I've designed for myself. They're my own prompts, right? That I love to use. Chrome extension that holds my prompt library. So why I did this, because we're going to talk about content ideation, right? That's our first, generating content ideas with ChatGPT. So how can we do that? There is so much potential in ideation. Ideation is incredible with ChatGPT. What I'm going to do is I have a really good LinkedIn one, so I'm going to start with that. So here I do have a LinkedIn post ideator, and I'm going to show you the prompt itself, of course. So what I'll do is I'll just copy that prompt just to show you guys a second, right? And I'll paste that in here, and then I'll walk you through my prompt very quickly. Whoa. Okay, so this prompt is inspired by Justin Welsh. He's an incredible LinkedIn influencer. He's, I think, the top one LinkedIn influencer. He's got millions of followers and views and stuff like that. And he has this course that I did a while ago. I loved his way of ideating for content, which he has this content matrix framework, which is an X and a Y axis. So here I'm talking about, saying that I want you to act as a content brainstorming assistant. I have a content matrix framework. It has an X and a Y axis, as I mentioned, right? So, and then what we're talking about here is that the X axis actually have styles, right? There is about 8, I think, or 10, I think it's 8 styles of content you can post on LinkedIn. Actionable. How can people do something step by step? They get really popular. They get quite viral, these ones. Motivational. How can people do something step? Okay, that the actionable. Sorry, yeah. So the motivate, inspire people to take action through a story or anecdote. Analytical, do a teardown of a company, person, content style. A contrarian one, they go quite far as well. As virality, something you feel differently about versus the status quo. Observation was something you've observed that you can talk about. X versus Y compared to situations, present, future. I think there are 10. How things work today versus how you think in the future. Listicle, a list of things. You see these are the most that goes viral. I think, I have here, please use sparingly. People use and overuse and abuse these, and it just starts getting really silly. Everybody just has top 5 tools, top 3 things, blah, 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 and stuff like that, right? So that's kind of a bit sad, but it is what it is. I'm gonna come to that question, Annie, in a second. Let me just go through this prompt. What are you working on this weekend, on this week? Highs and lows. What went well and what went poorly? Usually good for a Friday type of thing. So these are really content styles, and then on the y-axis, I give him the topics, the topic, the subtopic, and so on, which I'm going to show you. So I'm not going to walk you through the whole prompt, because we can give you the prompt. We'll make sure that you get access to the prompt, but I'm going to paste that prompt. While that prompt is doing its magic, I'm going to answer that question. Maybe we can put that on here. Let's see. Annie has a question. Annie, awesome question. What is it? Could you please tell me how I can view this Chrome extension and your promotions? Yes, I mean, I think the Chrome extension is very simple. Just go to AIPRM, right? Write AIPRM Chrome extension and download it on your Chrome and make sure it's there, because then you can have your prompt library. You can store your prompt library, and it's so much easier. Instead of like me copying and pasting like this, I'll show you what that helps me in doing. Is that I can just go in here, I can click my LinkedIn post ideator, and I know that right now I can choose a topic, because in my prompt I have variables, and then I can use a subtopic, right? So let's do generative AI. Let's do mid-journey image generation as a subtopic. And what are my thoughts on this topic or subtopic? What are my thoughts and topics on the subtopic? Mid-journey is I'll show you another little trick that I really love. Midjourney is an incredible tool for image generation. A lot of people are complaining about Midjourney because they're like, oh my god, it's stealing artists' work and stuff like that. But I don't agree, because it's the same as the camera. When the camera was invented, painters were like, oh my god, the camera should be banned. It's stealing art and stuff like that. But then camera, since the camera, photography became an art. So I believe Midjourney, image generation with AI, this type of stuff is the same. It's going to be a new form of art. So I just dictated my thoughts very quickly because I'm so much faster at that than just typing it. And I'm going to send this out for now while we're continuing to answer that question. So yeah, so if you got that extension, you can do this type of stuff that I just did. And then our promotions. We're not here to really promote. We're here to give you the most value we can. But you can go on our website on taskdrive.com. It's going to come across the whole webinar. I think there'll be a QR code potentially somewhere soon, and you can scan that QR code. You can go on TaskDrive's website. We have some incredible AI VAs. We have an AI consultancy package that you can subscribe to. But I'm not here just to sell. I'm here to give you the most value I can. But the QR code is down below somewhere on the side. Just check it out. Scan that QR code, go to our website, see what we're promoting, what we're selling, and so on. And you can subscribe to one of our great packages. But enough sales. We'll do a bit of sales again at the end if you want. But Annie, thank you very much for asking that. But we're really here to help you learn content creation with ChatGPT, right? Because a lot of people complain about it. So as you can see, I put my little notes, and in the back end, I had that prompt that I showed you earlier. So what has happened is that now my ChatGPT, actually, what I'll do is I'll make this bigger, like this is text. Yeah, how's that? That looks good. It says, got it. Let's start by listing the content style for you to choose from. So I'm going to choose a few styles. Okay, I'm going to choose one. I'm going to do an actionable. I'm going to do a motivational because I think that'd be quite good. I'm going to do a contrarian for sure, right? Because it's like people saying that Midjourney stealing your work and stuff like that. And then maybe I'm going to do, a present and future, because how we are. I'm just putting the numbers because, as you can see, I had numbers for all of them. So ChatGPT now should be giving me drafts or ideas, at least, for the topic, the subtopic, my notes that I mentioned, and the type of styles, the styles of content, right? As you can see now, what's happening is I'm getting actionable. How to create stunning images with Midjourney, a step-by-step guide. Wow, that's actually nice. We should note this down because I could actually make this a post. This article can provide. It said it's an article, but it's not an article. We're working on a LinkedIn post, but that's fine. I can do silly stuff like that. How to use Midjourney for image generation. Enhance your creative project, tips and tricks for using Midjourney effectively, which is really good. Motivational, from idea to art, how Midjourney empowers your creativity. Transforming creativity, how AI image generation is changing the art world. I like that. Contrarian, I think I'm going to like this the most. Why Midjourney is not stealing art, a fresh perspective on AI image generation. I think we can work on that one in a second. Midjourney versus traditional art, why both can coexist and thrive. I like that. The present and future of image generation, Midjourney's role in shaping art. And then the second one on present and future is from pixels to masterpieces, the evolution of AI image generation and what lies ahead. Okay. So this is really good, in my opinion, right? It's good ideas, and we can work on them now. So I chose, I think, which one was it I chose? Why Midjourney is not stealing art, because I'm quite passionate about that topic, right? So I want to work on that. So I could tell it, let's say, let's draft a LinkedIn post for the contrarian idea you have, which is why Midjourney is not stealing art, a fresh perspective on AI image generation. AI image generation, it should be. I'm sure it's going to know it, but I'll just correct that. Not stealing. Okay, let's see. It should recognize that, anyways. In the meantime, Lelde asked a really good question. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for coming. I don't have such. I do have, I think, a video script prompt. I'll double check. I have a lot of prompts, but I don't think you need such an incredible prompt for it, because you can really come up with it. It's very specific. if you have an example of a video script that you had before, that would help your prompt a lot. I'll show you what I mean by that, because when you have an example of a good output, that increases the quality by 150%, right? 150% increase in quality if you have an example. I'll zoom out a tiny bit so that we can read a little bit more of it. So we did a post draft. Why Midjourney is not stealing art in the evolving landscape. I wouldn't say in the evolving landscape myself. Let me zoom in. Okay, I got a request to zoom in the evolving landscape of technology and creativity. Blah blah blah. Critics often argue this is not bad. Remember the outcry when the camera was invented. I like that, because it took a lot from my notes. So this is, it's not your LinkedIn post saying, hey, do a post about AI, image generation, and Midjourney, right? Because we gave some notes, but still, of course, it does sound a bit AI sometimes. And our goal is not, to sound AI or not, is to make sure that it has the most value, right? But I am very into this topic myself, so I would edit it quite a bit. But I like it because here's why this type of thing works really well on LinkedIn. Here's why: 1, 2, 3, 4. The couple of things that doesn't work here is I think some of the sentences are much longer, and LinkedIn likes shorter sentences. So I would say something like, shorten the sentences by about 50%, cut out all the fluff and marketing jargon, make it really, really valuable post, conversational, friendly. And one of the most important things is make sure that it's readability grade level 5. That's kind of what I would tell it, to edit a little bit. And then I'd take it, of course, into my own kind of document and edit it. But as you can see, it's starting to look much, much better because, it's cut down all that stuff. It's now in readability 5. I'd put this on. I can show you another little trick that I would do, of course, is I would take this now in a second. I'll read it a little bit. Don't give hashtags, don't do emojis. I'd put all that stuff as well. But I'd take this normally, and I would go to Hemingway editor. If you guys haven't used the Hemingway editor, I don't have the Pro anymore here. I was testing the Pro, but let's see if we can use it a little bit still. Because I don't have the Pro, it's not going to let me use it. Or let's see. Yes, it's going to let me use some stuff. Yeah, perfect. So I'd put that into my Hemingway. Okay. Hemingway editor. There's a free version online. The Pro version is with some AI stuff now. You don't really need it. I tested it. It's actually quite nice. But what I would do is I'd come here and I'd look at my score first of all. As you can see, my readability grade is at 6 now. Okay. 164 words. They have a new feature even, which is awesome. There is 2 uses of weak language meeting the goal of 6 or fewer, which is okay. Right. So maybe I'd look at differently now, and I'd be like, okay, maybe remove that. Use a forceful verb instead. He can run quickly becomes he sprinted, right? So right now, because I don't have the AI feature, it's not going to do that. But what you could do is you can replace it with your own word, right? You could find a different word there, and then you can make sure that word is going to score better. But grade 6 is awesome. Like we said, grade 5, it came to grade 6. If I did the previous version, let's test that. But when the camera was invented, you could change that potentially. It's passive voice. It doesn't like passive voice. Fix your sentence with AI, so you'd have to pay. But I think, why don't they have what happened to the feature with no AI? They're supposed to have their Hemingway editor without AI. I actually have a desktop version for that. I have the desktop version that I could show you. 1 second. I'm opening that up, and I'm just going to switch my screen share very quickly just to show you the Hemingway editor that I have on my computer and how it works. It's the same kind of thing anyways, but I've paid for it before, so I was able to download it. Here we go. So that's my Hemingway editor. Okay, and I'm going to, here we go. Oh, screen share. I wish these things were quicker. So I'm going to paste that again. And what I like here, that, passive voice, use active voice. Okay, so what's happening? It's there's an adverb meeting the goal of three or fewer. There's a use of passive voice meeting and stuff like that. So I'd work on this. Make that active and so on. So you could also take this, of course, and then you can go to ChatGPT and say, find me a different word for this, change this to an active voice. I kind of do that to bring your readability to grade 5 or 4. This is really up to how much time you want to spend. But when you're on readability grade 6, you're doing really, really well. Our aim is always 5 and lower, but 6 is quite good. So this is kind of the Hemingway editor without all that AI pro update kind of stuff. That's why I wanted to show you, because you can really have a clean writing environment. You can even, I think, you can just get rid of all that stuff. You can make this a little bit bigger, I reckon, and then you can kind of focus on just writing. So it's really the combination of ChatGPT, Hemingway, your editing skills is what's important. You can't just rely on AI to finish the work. But what you've seen is that we can get about 80% of the work done with just AI. I'm gonna come back to this version. I know it looks a bit shitty with this pro stuff, but don't worry about it. But what I wanted to show you guys is to get this version before we kind of edit it, right? See where we're at with that version. This version had the longer sentences. Let's see if we can get back here. This version had the longer sentences, right? Bam, here we go, we're back. So I got that other version that we were working on, the first version that ChatGPT gave us. And look at that redness. Look at this grade. It's grade 10. It's too high, right? It has 5 of 22 sentences are very hard to read. 3 of 22 sentences are hard to read. 4 uses a week, 1 word with simple alternatives. So the idea was that you have so much more work to do here. But as we did on ChatGPT, let's see if we can get back to that. Because I said it, I said, cut the sentences short, shorten them, cut by 50%, make it valuable, conversational, friendly. I got so much better output, didn't I? By the way, I think there's a new UX update, like things are on the right and stuff. That's interesting. Yeah, this is new, by the way. Wow. Okay. I'm even learning today that there's been some changes. That's pretty cool. So I'm okay with this, right? I'd put a bit more spacing, by the way. So LinkedIn people likes that, because don't forget about, I think 70% of the people on LinkedIn read everything on mobile, right? So if you're reading this on mobile, you want sentence, and you don't want big paragraphs. So the idea would be just, to do some spacing here, like a new paragraph type of thing. Give some breathing space for the reader to read it slowly and nicely, and that they can skim through it and all that. Don't use hashtags anymore. Emojis, use them really if they're necessary, if you like them. That's a very personal, I think, choice of using emojis or not. So I can't tell you do it or not. And one of the important things that I always say, ask a question. You want a call to comments, right? You want people to kind of comment on your post, because that's what's gonna bring a little bit your post in front of other people. So that's quite important. So I mean, as you guys seen, like in no time, literally no time, we had 2, 4, 6, 8 ideas about Midjourney, and about how I compare Midjourney to when the camera came out and people thought about art dying, or they were worried, and then there was a new form of art, which was photography, came out, right? And that's all across. This keeps happening, doesn't it? And this is all across each of my kind of um, points, so yeah, so that's really segment one. How can you ideate with ChatGPT on for content, right? So for content, you can really take a great framework, which is the XY axis, which is the content matrix framework. Use a content matrix framework. It's popular. You can find it. Justin West talks about it. Matthew Barker, a bunch of LinkedIn influencers, LinkedIn ghostwriters, writers, and stuff like that talk about these things. I mean, I stole that framework. It's fine, because it's not. It's okay to use it, because it really helps me create great ideas. you know. So when you do this about 30 minutes a week, you'd have enough ideas for your whole week to work on content for your LinkedIn post. Okay, so I think that was really segment one of today, is to how to generate content ideas with ChatGPT. Yeah, I think we've ticked that box, right? Yeah, we know how to generate ideas with ChatGPT. The prompts are of course important, but again, it's what I'd say, it's more than the prompt, is your thinking methodology. How did you ideate about content previously before ChatGPT? How can you translate that into ChatGPT is the question. Because if you do already doing this offline without ChatGPT yourself with a whiteboard, and you're like, okay, well, I talk about these are my topics, this is what I do, blah blah blah. If you're doing that, that takes you X amount of time. If you bring it to ChatGPT, it's going to take you much less time, right? So then you can create that prompt for yourself, or you can take my prompt. I bet you will send you that prompt. Or if you want these type of prompts, I think one of the best things that I can tell you is subscribe to my newsletter. Yeah. I think that's coming soon, somewhere around here. Bam, there, right? So if you sign up to my newsletter, you'll get this type of prompts. Every week there's a prompt. Every week there is a guide on how to ideate content, how to do this, how to do that. And 90+% of the time is how you do it with ChatGPT, right? Maybe some other AI tools, but big fan of ChatGPT. So make sure to subscribe to my newsletter if you're not, because you're gonna get a lot of prompts, a lot of guides, a lot of different systems, and it's gonna help your day-to-day work and personal and professional work. Great. So segment two, we said writing articles and scripts with ChatGPT. Discussing how to use ChatGPT for drafting articles, blogs, and scripts. Okay, let me tackle that one now. So I think one of the best ways is to just go from a good LinkedIn post and make it an article. You could do that, right? But you could also do things like have a good GPT for it. Oh, let me zoom out 1 second. Here we go. So there are a lot of GPTs out there that does this type of stuff, but you could build your own GPTs to do that. But I'm just, for the sake of today, just to go quick, I'm gonna go blog, and I'm gonna test something new with you guys. Bam! This is 50K plus usage. Blog expert, SEO blogs made easy. Okay, I think this is gonna be good. It's rated 5 stars, a little bit, 4. Okay, 5 people on 4, 3, 2, 1. Is it really? You can't. This is not a good way to rate stuff, but it has 4.3, 1.1K people has done that. It's number 15 in writing. There's been 50K conversations. I bet you it's quite good, right? I'll show you how I would do it without the GPT, but let's just test this because I'm curious, and this is why I love these sessions, because they're raw material where we just have fun, right? So blog expert, SEO blogs made easy. I'm just for the just to have fun. I'm gonna say, what can you do for me? I'm gonna send that, right? Because I'm just curious. Okay, your support, blah blah blah. So Faisal, who designed this GPT, is smart. He's done a little bit of promotion in the beginning. I'll click here to buy me a coffee so he can get some money, right? What I love is that he's definitely, this GPT is built very thoughtfully, because it's not just like bam. It has, how can I assist his topic selection, keyword research, SEO optimization, engaging content, structure and formatting, examples and statistics, call to action, plagiarism-free content, and then it's asking me topic, niche, target audience, keywords. Let's just play this game, okay, with Faisal. I don't know, Faisal, well done. You have your GPT today in my webinar, so good work. So what's the main subject you want the blog post to cover? Okay, let's do this. My main subject I want the blog post to cover is all about how we're helping virtual assistants 5x their time to be basically 5x efficient, and not just VAs, but any human being who has a job can be 5x more efficient with ChatGPT and similar generative AI tools. Okay. So with ChatGPT, it doesn't even understand. By the way, I think that I'm not very good today at talking, so good luck. Target audience, let's answer that. My target audience are entrepreneurs, basically serial entrepreneurs of bootstrap businesses. Okay. So I'm going to continue. I want to focus on generative AI. I want to focus on um, efficiency with AI. Think that's enough. If that was your keywords you're going for, how long do I want the blog post to be? I'm going to go for something long, right? These days we're going for longer things. The blog post should be about 3,000 words. And then any specific points, tone, or style you prefer? Yes. My tones and style is very friendly, informal, simple words, readability grade level 5. It's like a one-on-one conversation with my audience. I don't use fluffy words. I don't like marketing jargon. That's kind of my voice. I'd also like to add some specific points to this. I think it's that before, we were all about being musicians, being able to play one instrument really well. That means that you were you were very, very specific in your job. You were very niche down. You had a very specific role. And now I believe that by being more of a conductor, instead of a musician, being a conductor and having a grasp of multiple tools, multiple AI tools, you can do the work of 5 people. So becoming almost 5x efficient just on your time, but also becoming 5x efficient on your role, basically being able to do 5 different type of things. So that means that I always say, one of my sayings that I would love to have in this blog post is, AI is not here to take your job, but someone using AI is here to take 5 people's job. Right, so I added a lot of my kind of thoughts on there. I didn't want to write these down. I love to converse, so I dictated into it. And thanks to this guy's GPT, we're starting to get an introduction, a summary. Okay, great. He's done, SEO 5x your vision with generative AI, a guide for entrepreneurs. I like it. The meta description, the slug is even there, the excerpt is there, the introduction is there. That's awesome, right? Okay, I'll dive. Okay, it's telling me to do a full article. Yes, give me the full article, please. So you're gonna be like, "Oh, Tim's cheating," but I'm not cheating because I've given all my thoughts about it, right? And ChatGPT is doing the work. This GPT that it was built purposefully for this kind of use case is doing the work. I'm not saying go and publish this, right? But again, you've done 80% of the work in 20% of the time that you used to spend, right? So it's the 80-20 rule that we're having here, right? So now it's your job, as a writer, as a content person, to sit down and spend 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes on changing some stuff that wouldn't be you. Like, you wouldn't speak like, you wouldn't write like this, you wouldn't do this like that, right? You can do that, or you can continue editing on here. What I love, if we had the time, is that I'd read the whole thing, and I'll tell my notes to ChatGPT. Why did I didn't do that, by the way. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't do that. So I'd spend the time, I'd read it, and I'd take some notes. I'd be like, well, it sounds like a dream, right? I don't like this. This is not how I speak. I love this. Why don't you open this up a little bit? And I would really go through the whole thing and just give my notes, right? And then my assistant, which is my ChatGPT, but also with the blog experts SEO blogs made easy, I have really a great assistant here. But again, the thoughts, the brain behind this is me, right? So when people tell you, "Wow, writing articles with ChatGPT is crap," yes, it's crap if you just ask it to give you a post about AI making humans 5x more efficient. That's it. If you just give that, that's boring. So, I'm going to repeat that. If you go to ChatGPT and if you ask it to just give you a blog post about how humans are 5x more efficient by using ChatGPT, give me a blog article. That's crap. Yeah. That's crap in, it's going to be crap out. Right. But if you came to it and you said, "Hey, I want to work with you on this blog post. Here's are my thoughts about this topic. Here's the topic. Here's my notes. Here's my feelings, and here's how I write. And you spend that 15 minutes really prompting or dictating as I did, just by talking to it, and then the draft is there. It's 80% of my articles done. Right. So this is really how you use ChatGPT. When you do this work, you're not going to say ChatGPT is crap, because it's just writing what you have in your mind. Right. So it's actually you who is the brain behind it. It's you that brings that content to life. ChatGPT is just an assistant. Yeah. I just wanted to say that a bit more emotionally here, because I think it's important to realize that, because a lot of people, they say bad things about my best friend ChatGPT. So don't say bad things about it. Just know how to use it. Get learn. Okay. So that was a bit writing articles. Let's tap into writing scripts, because we had the dear Lilde here was asking about scripts. Okay. Let me see if I can start a new one. Let's start a new one. Shall I cheat a little bit and get a GPT for it? No, maybe let me not cheat in this one. Okay, I'm just gonna go here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna prompt it myself right now. Okay, I want you to act as a script writer. You are the best script writer in the planet. You are so good at writing scripts for YouTube videos that YouTube is about to ban you, because every video, every script you create, and every video you do gets super viral and gets millions of views. So why did I talk so positively about it? Because the more positive you talk to an LLM, to a large language model, the better it feels. It's like any humans, right? If you tell me I'm the best at something, I'm going to do my best to impress you. But if you don't tell me that I'm the best, blah blah blah, I'm going to be like, yeah, I just do the work. But when you tell it, it's really, it's like, oh shit, I have to do the work, right? So that's like the first thing I would do, right? And then of course that's kind of the role we gave it. So I'll just go a little bit and I'll say, now I want you to help me write a script for my next YouTube video. My next YouTube video is all going to be about efficiency, how to make humans, especially virtual assistants, 5x more efficient with ChatGPT and different AI tools. Okay, so that's going to be the script we're going to write. The video is going to be about 10 minutes long. I have a lot of things to say about this, which my notes are. I'm going to leave it there, which my notes are, okay, because then I would do some bullet points. But while writing is a bit more difficult, while dictating is a bit more difficult, I would say my notes are: be a conductor, not a musician, meaning generalists will rule. One person using AI will take over people's job, 5 people's job that are not using AI. Chat GPT is great, but I could just put it here actually. But there are many other specialized tools like Gamma for slides, Raycast for personal productivity. Restream doesn't have AI, I think, so I'm not going to put that. Superhuman for email. What else? Rewind.ai to remember everything. I'm thinking Notion and its AI features, right? So I'm not going to continue now. I'm just going to close this. Okay. Ask me all the relevant questions so that you do not make any assumptions, and we create a great script for my next YouTube video that is going to go viral thanks to you. So I'm just going to send this out. And by the way, I'm not sending this out to any of my GPTs. I have a custom GPT which has my content crafter, which has my brand voice and guidelines and stuff. So that would be even an extra level of customization right away. But I just send it here for the sake of saving some time. Um, what I love, and if Lelde, you're still here because you've asked that question, going back to it, it's what I always say to ChatGPT. Most of the time, I tell ChatGPT, do not make assumptions. Ask me the questions. Because if you ask ChatGPT, I think I'm gonna have to repeat this one, by the way. Uh, if you ask ChatGPT to do the job for you, it's gonna do a poor job. But if you ask ChatGPT to ask you the question to get the job right, then it's your answers that is going to direct ChatGPT into creating whatever task you're doing at hand. So this is really where the magic comes, which is making ChatGPT your assistant to really brainstorm with you and to take the information out of your head and to write about it. That's kind of really one of the biggest usages of ChatGPT is to, hey, ask me the relevant questions. And this usually helps you not be stuck because it's going to ask you questions. You'll be like, oh, shit, I didn't think about that. And you're just going to answer these things, right? So that's really how I use ChatGPT. I'm going to go back to that. Oh, that's the wrong one, by the way. So here we go. We're almost there, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm having fun. Hope you're having fun. Hope you're all still here and you're not bored of me talking a lot. But basically, what has happened here is that I have some really good questions. But there's one thing I don't like that ChatGPT will do if you don't tell it, is that it asks you, here we go, we have all those questions. It asks you all those questions in one go. I don't like that, I usually say, ask me the questions one by one. Ask me the first one, let me answer it, then ask me the next one. All right. I do that because then it gives me a better like brainstorming. Now I'm like, okay, how would you like to introduce the video? Do you have a preferred tone of style? Okay. I'm very energetic. I'm a very passionate person. I love everything AI, but I'm very informal. I'm very friendly. I can be a little silly at times. I don't like anything marketing jargon or fluff, things like that. And I'd like to start my script with like a big statement of like scaring people in a nice way, like it's here to take your job if you don't do this, and then really get into what it should be doing, right? What you should be doing to make sure that you're the person who's going to be 5x more efficient. So, it's asking me this question, and now I'm answering this question, right? Oh, and then it's going to ask me the next question. While it's doing that, I'm going to check. Can you show an example of how content creators use ChatGPT to write personal messages on social media posts that are short to the point, but also engaging to your content creators use ChatGPT to write personal messages or a social media post? Because there is two things there. There's write a personalized message and there's a social media post. Because Danica, if you were here in the beginning, we did a LinkedIn post already, and it was very custom. It was very personal. It was my notes and so on. So I'm not sure if you've missed that. But if you can clarify your question, I'll be happy to tackle it again. Yep. So we got the answer. Do you have a specific order in which you want to present your main points? Conductor versus mission, AI tools, etc. No, actually, I don't. You make that decision. Okay. It's going to potentially make a better decision than I do on that. How in depth would you like to go into each tool you mentioned? Okay. I'd love to go into a pros and cons list about each tool and, keep it like under a minute a tool or like even 30-second a tool. But really talk about I'd like to talk about the pros and the cons of each tool to make sure that everybody understands these tools and to see if they want to use it or not. Danica, in the meantime, if you clarify your question, I'm happy to answer it. But we do write personalized messages, DMs, for social channels, and then we did the LinkedIn post earlier that was very custom. Okay, do you have any real life examples or case studies that illustrate your points? Any specific anecdotes or personal experience you'd like to include? Yes. Absolutely. I use Raycast all day long, and I have realized that it saves me about 40 minutes to an hour of 10 minutes a day. 40 minutes to an hour, 10 minutes a day, it saves me. So this is Raycast. Raycast really do save me that much time. Then I'd also talk about what was the other tools that I mentioned? Rewind.ai. I love Rewind.ai because if I miss anything, if I forget anything, I can just ask my computer. It's going to remember everything I've done, everything I've read across the whole web. All right. So that's going to be really good. So Rewind.ai. Next up, we have Notion. Notion is really where my second brain is. I'll put all the articles, I'll put all my, clips from the web, URLs. I put also some really good articles, as I said, all my tools there and stuff, and I just dump them into Notion. This is awesome because I can just ask the ask Notion AI about anything, and it's going to scan and it's going to answer me all those questions. So that's really my second brain, and now I can tap into my second brain without looking through it. So that's really good with Notion. Gamma is an incredible tool to create presentations and slides in no time, in a very, very short time. I can just say, hey, Gamma, create me a deck and stuff like that, and it'll do that. Right. So this, this kind of thing, I would just keep chatting to ChatGPT. It kind of stopped at some point, but you'd spend a bit more time on each tool if you want. Let's do Superhuman. Okay, my transcript, the dictation is being a bit weird right now. That's fine. We have enough content to continue to the next. Social media post for marketing stories. Then you can, no problem at all. You'll be able to watch the recording because that was our phase one, was to actually generate content ideas, and then with that we were able to actually create the draft, and it was potentially more than 80% there because we put our custom notes into it. So I really suggest watching from the beginning. Our agenda has been one with generating content ideas with ChatGPT, and really, not just the ideas, but the drafts and almost editing them and finishing them. And we use Hemingway editor and a bunch of other stuff to show you how you can actually get there very quickly. Two, it was writing articles and with its scripts, which we're doing scripts now. And then I was going to do using ChatGPT to overcome creative blocks. So let me go fast. So, sorry, talking a lot. So another question: are there any specific visuals, animation, or demo you want to include to make your point clearer? Yes, I will have a screen recording of each of the tools. As I said, my dictation doesn't work. Yes, I will have a screen recording of each of the tools. That's it. I'm not gonna go. I'm saving some time here so we can get to the last point that we wanted to do. Do you have any preferred ways to engage with the audience, such as questions, prompt, interactive elements? You decide. Okay. I'm just going quicker. Normally, you would spend this time. How would you like to wrap up the video? Follow my newsletter for all these great tools and tips, so you can work towards becoming 5x more efficient in your day to day. Bam. So I've added that. It keeps updating memory, which is good, because it's like, oh, you have a newsletter now. Any quotes, statistic, or expert opinions you want to feature in the room? Right now, no, none. I'm sure there is. I would. But I think perfect. We have all the information we need. So now I'm going to get a script, and the script is going to be quite custom, and it's going to be a good script, right? Because again, what we didn't do is we didn't tell ChatGPT to just write a script. We told ChatGPT to ask me all the relevant questions about this topic, right? And this is where the magic is. It asked me all those questions, and now it's going to do a really good job. It's writing a great script, because I even said I was excited and stuff, and I told all the tools. I told ChatGPT all my notes about the tools as well, right? And it's really, really getting quite custom, right? I think my custom instructions is off. That's why it says I'm your name. If not, it would know that's me. But this is really good. I think I'm gonna let this work because I'm sure my executive assistant is gonna want this from me, and she's gonna be like, "Okay, I really want that script." I can see her in the background giving me a thumbs up. So yeah, so this is you see pros, cons. Yeah, learning curve for customer limited to macOS. That's true. I didn't even talk about limited to macOS, but of course it has enough information about raycast, especially GPT-4o is really really good. It really has good information about almost everything. So this is happening this is becoming a reality, and my script is being written, and it's going to be about a 10-minute video for all that stuff that we said. Boom. Segment 2 done, or like second part of the webinar done. We have a third part. I don't think we have the time, but I have a couple more minutes. My next meeting is with my executive assistant, so she can wait because she's here. So very quickly, I think that I'll keep this one very very short, and I'll show you how I do this in another way. Let me stop all this pop-ups that I have for my next meeting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my screen share. But you saw the script is being written, and I'm still writing it. Oh, that's it, done. Great script. I bet you it's a good script because it has all about the tools, it has the pros and cons, and you can continue, right? How does this look? Any adjustment? You say, yeah, this is short. I don't like it. Can you add more of this? Can you add less of that? That's how to use ChatGPT. Use chat use ChatGPT as your assistant. Don't use it just to do your job, because it's great as an assistant that is on your side. You tell it what to do. You tell it to ask you questions about the task at hand and so on. Together you guide each other towards the result. That's how ChatGPT is an incredible tool. I love it. I love it. All right, cool. So now for the third one, I'm just going to show you some little cool hack that I do. If you don't do this, you're losing a lot. It's had some problems these days, but let's see. Let's say that you have a creative block. You know, let's say I had a creative block. I don't have a post for today or for tomorrow, and I don't know. And what do? I usually put my headphones on, okay, and I go for a walk. If you have a creative block, don't stay where you are. Do not stay where you are if you have a creative block, because you're just blocked. You're not going to unblock yourself by staying where you are, right? But what's awesome is you can take ChatGPT wherever you want, especially on your little mobile device, which I hope you all have a mobile device, right? Because we all have it, right? And you just click on that little, on the right, there's like a little headphone kind of sign, right? Where my thumb is. You click on that, you let it connect. Hello. Okay, well, I'm having a creative block today. So I just went out for a nice walk by the beach. And I want to come up with some cool ideas for my LinkedIn post tomorrow. Can you ask me all the questions? Please do not make any assumptions. Don't come up with the ideas yourself. Just ask me, help me unblock my creative block.
Sure thing, Tim. Let's get those creative juices flowing. What's one recent achievement or milestone that you're proud of? Have you learned any new tools or systems recently that have made a big difference in your workflow? Is there a current trend in AI or generative AI that has caught your attention? Can you share an interesting story or insight from your sailing or DJ experiences that ties back to your professional life? What's a challenge you faced recently in your role as CEO, and how did you?
Well, I've already have multiple ideas from that, right?
Discussions
Okay,
or
I'm just going to
insights
interrupt
from your
it.
newsletter?
Well, I see everybody talking about how Scarlett Johansson is suing OpenAI because of the voice Sky, which I think you are Sky, and everybody's suing, like Scarlett Johansson suing OpenAI. I'm quite upset about it because I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's awesome. I think she's one of the sexiest actresses out there. Her voice and so on. But in the movie Her, where she acts as Samantha the AI, let's be honest, her voice, I listened to it the other day on purpose. Her voice is much deeper, is much breathier, is much sexier, and Sky, I'm sorry, I love you, Sky, as an open AI voice, but you're much thinner, you're much more artificial. You don't sound that sexy at all. You really sound like a machine. So I don't understand why this court case is happening. I feel like it's a bit of a marketing kind of fluff, but that's kind of my own opinion. Maybe write a quick LinkedIn post about that, please.
Absolutely, Tim. Here's a draft for your LinkedIn post. I've been thinking about the recent news of Scarlett Johansson suing OpenAI over the voice of Sky. As a fan of Scarlett Johansson,
Yeah, it would.
and her voice, especially in the movie Her as Samantha, is iconic. I recently listened to.
Yeah, so I would just continue. I'd stop it, and as you can see now, that's in text version. I have my post, right, and there's a draft. I've been thinking about the recent news, blah blah blah. I recently listened to the voice. This lawsuit feels like a marketing move more than anything else, and so I have my next idea. I have the draft potentially 90% because again, it's all my own thoughts, right? So my creative block is overcome because it asked me some really relevant question. And to get this specific and to really be good at this kind of stuff, make sure you're using your custom instructions on your chat gpts. On the settings on the top right now, go to settings to personalization. Make sure your custom instructions are filled up, so you're answering who you are, what you do, how do you want ChatGPT to talk to you, and all that kind of stuff. Because the more information you have there, as you heard, it asked me right away about my role, about my CEO role. It asked me about my sailing. It asked me a lot about very personal stuff because it knows a lot about me. And potentially, most of you don't use custom instructions. I know a lot of people still don't use custom instructions. So go use your custom instructions, number one. Number two, you now have memory, right? So as you use ChatGPT, if it doesn't remember something that you wanted to remember, just tell it, say, remember this about me, right? And then it's just going to remember all that kind of stuff about you, right? And if that it starts remembering all that stuff about you, in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it's gonna know so much more about you that you're gonna be like, oh shit, yeah, this is awesome, right? So that's how I think that you get better and better at ChatGPT. And just a quick walk with voice mode will overcome your creative block. Yeah, that's kind of me. I know there's some questions. How can we see your GPT prompts? My GPT prompts, my Chat GPT prompts, or my specific for custom GPTs? That's a very big, long question to answer, Annie. I think it's a huge question to answer, but I mean, I can tease you with them, because there's a lot of them. If you want to see them, some people will get bored, but So here is just things about LinkedIn. And here's all of them. I have a proven LinkedIn bio framework used by 21,000 people. I have, sales pitch with a proven storytelling, prompt iterator. I have smart LinkedIn post creation from a URL. I have a content drafting assistant and AI tutor. I turn it into a step-by-step guide. I have, I have pages and pages of this, by the way. This is public speaking with Cicero. Cicero is a framework for public speaking creation. The creating the whole narrative and stuff. A LinkedIn comment generator, which I don't like, it doesn't work really well. I have to change that. The 5 Why method, which I love. I have another page of this. Story circle framework, LinkedIn post hook generator, a viral post analyzer, which I love. Yeah, a VA sales follow up after discovery call. That's another prompt. And all these prompts, Annie, just to show you, they're really, 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 really long prompts. They go like this, and they go, 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 and they have examples in them. And then they ask questions and stuff. And that's an example of one of my prompts. But if you want more of what you've seen and you like it, don't forget to check out, first of all, okay, let me get rid of all this. Don't forget to check out Task Drive. TaskDrive.com is going to be somewhere here very soon. Check out taskdrive.com. We also have a prompt library on taskdrive.com that we've been working. If you sign up to the TaskDrive newsletter, you're going to get about 100 prompts. Where's that QR code? Can I see that QR code somewhere? The TaskDrive website QR code, please, please, please. It's going to appear. AI is going to make it do it. No, it's my EA is going to do it. She's awesome. So she's almost like AI. She's like her from she's like Samantha from Her movie. No, that's creepy, but yeah, but she's quite good. Yeah, and I had a comment. Oliver said infinite. Yes, absolutely. Infinite, because I have, my prompts are long. They're proper prompts. They're not just do this, right? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's the QR code we got instead of the website, but that's fine, because on our YouTube channel you're gonna have all these webinars, past webinars where we've done a lot of magic. There are short videos about all of this stuff, so make sure to do that. Here you have our website now. our QR code for our website. On our website, you can see all our services, some incredible AI VAs. We train them and we deploy them for entrepreneurs in their companies. We have an AI consultancy package there. But also, if you subscribe to our newsletter on the TaskDrive website, you're going to receive a PDF, a guide of 100 prompts. Wow, for free. You just have to sign up to our newsletter of TaskDrive. Okay, and that's really TaskDrive. But of course, me as the CEO of TaskDrive, you can also follow me on LinkedIn, and you have my personal newsletter as well. But this is my LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn if you're not doing that yet, because I post about this every day. We have webinars, as you've seen. I make other little videos, some silly stuff. I do a lot of stuff on LinkedIn. It's my favorite channel, and of course my newsletter as well. Everything's available there. That's also so many QR codes. Everybody's scanning them. Thank you very much, people. And that's my personal weekly newsletter that I do on Wednesdays. You're going to have a bunch of other stuff there about tools, prompts, and stuff like that. So you got two amazing newsletters. You have my company, my TaskDrive, right? That's going to be a tiny bit more formal, a bit more the whole team puts effort into that. So it's a really nice newsletter. And again, you're going to have a welcome PDF, and mine, which is a little bit more me, silly, just very unfiltered. I should do a mic drop, but I think I can do something like this maybe. Yeah, fireworks. Well, oh yeah, and in my newsletter, you can on the welcome email, you have also a guide, which is for entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur, you want to be on that newsletter. Yeah. Wow. Oh, I need some water. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been awesome. A pleasure. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to tim@taskdrive.com. Go to our website. There's a contact form. There's a booking form. Do it. Amazing. Thank you so much, everybody.